All right, a thread from Brian Cates. Democrats keeping their cities and states locked down do not want to hear from citizens. While they keep you locked in your house, they won't hold meetings where citizens can assemble to be heard. While you lose your job, they're absolutely fine. They still get paid. This is Fresno, California's City Council president. He's making people lose their jobs, their businesses, by keeping everything locked down. And he doesn't want to hear anybody complain about it. So he's not holding meetings the public can attend. Well, excuse me, Fresno City Council president, you don't live in China or North Korea. This is America, and the people living in Fresno are not your damn serfs. They are citizens, and they have a right to assemble themselves for their grievances to be heard. You wouldn't hold public meetings where citizens could assemble, and now you're pissed that they're showing up at your house? What did you expect? No, really. I want to know. You really thought these people were serfs and they'd just do as they're told? A bunch of citizens showed up at your house and you blew your stack? The longer these Democrats try to keep California and other states in complete lockdown, the more civil disobedience there's going to be. Get used to seeing this. Understand, Democrats are out to turn you all into serfs in those deep blue states. They're out to destroy the middle class. This is political warfare designed to turn as many people as possible into wards of the state. It's no accident that they are pursuing insane lockdown strategies after they just spent 2 years blatantly telling you they are now the party of cultural Marxists and democratic socialists. They rubbed our faces in it by making people like AOC and Bernie Sanders banner carriers. Did they hide it? Were they still being subtle about it? Hell no. They dropped the mask long ago, and now you tell me you're surprised? Democrats in these deep blue states want mass poverty and a disappearing middle class? Why would you be surprised? The Democratic Party is deliberately pursuing policies to destroy the middle class in the states it has firm control of, right after they spent a full year running a slate of presidential candidates who promised to ignore Congress and rule like dictators. Many people do not realize the extent of the damage that Obama did in his 8 years in office. They have no clue. Obama was a test run for a full-blown dictatorship. Did you know that? And that benevolent dictator was supposed to be Hillary Clinton. What we are supposed to call the Obama presidency was actually an 8-year-long crime spree. Someone compiled a list of over 200 illegal or unconstitutional orders that Obama made during his first 2 terms. Link in the description. Some guy on here named Carlos voiced the brutal truth. You have already essentially lived under a dictator, and you didn't really do a damn thing to stop him. Nobody stopped Obama from doing any of this. When Congress and the courts told him no, what did he do? He told the federal agencies, I don't care, do it anyway. What do you think happened next? The federal agencies, with leadership full of Obama and Democrat appointees, told him to get lost. That's not what happened. The federal agencies did what Obama ordered them to do, even though much of what Obama ordered our federal government to do was blatantly illegal and unconstitutional. We did not have the rule of law under Obama, so his whining about the rule of law now on the Flynn case is a sick joke. When voters made the mistake of taking complete control of Congress away from the Democratic Party in 2010, Obama bragged He didn't need Congress for anything. He could go around them because, quote, I have a pen and a phone, and he'd use them. Oh, and use them he did. And now I have something really brutal to say to those of you out there suffering in those deep blue states where your leaders have now revealed that they are declaring war on you until you give away your citizenship and willingly become their serfs. Are you ready? You ready? Here's the truth. You did this to yourselves. You kept voting for Democrats. You're not victims. You chose these people to lead your city, your state. You got the leadership you deserved. If you don't like what these leaders are doing, guess who has the power to change that? You do. So get up off your ass and get moving. Your rights are being taken away from you by these people. Your future is being destroyed by these people. It is up to you to change your city and your state's political leadership. Quit telling yourself politics doesn't affect you. If you haven't been voting for Democrats in places like California or New York or Illinois, great. You still need to step it up. Because unless change comes soon, you are doomed just the same if you can't get out of there. If these insane Marxist Democrats stay in control, you are doomed. If you haven't been voting, period, for anybody, well, my goodness, what exactly have you been waiting for? You may hate politics, and you may have been telling yourself what those upper-class twits do at City Hall or the State House. That doesn't affect you all that much. Okay, so you were wrong about that. What are you going to do now? Are you just going to sit back and watch these Democrats drive your future and your family's future off of a cliff? Or are you going to do something? Sane people see what Democrats like Pelosi and Newsom are doing, and it infuriates them. There will be massive crossover voting turnout this next election where many former Democrats gleefully and enthusiastically vote for a Republican for the first time in their lives. There will also be massive first-time voting, as many people who have been ambivalent about politics have been forced to pay attention to bad leaders who are determined to make them suffer for living under Democrats. Trump wins in a landslide as Democrats waste most of their resources running an increasingly senile candidate who has to have somebody tell him in his ear what to say live on the air. Trump knew in 2018 that we weren't going to hold the House. 30-plus Republicans suddenly announced their retirement from the House between 2016 and 2018, including Paul Ryan. Trump focused on building the Republican lead in the Senate, where Republicans gained seats. After 2 years of watching what Democrats did with their control of the House, voters cannot wait to flip it back to Republican control and make this insane gourmet ice cream eating ditz hand that gavel back over. Republicans won every special election last night, including the California 25th Congressional District, Katie Hill's district. The margin of victory was 12 points. I'm told Democrats would have to engage in a massive, never-before-seen amount of fraud to close that gap. The Democrats can only steal it if it's close. A 12-point gap is not close. Now, imagine in November, all of a sudden, the local D party is faced with having to come up with the new votes to cover gaps that are 3 or 4 times larger than the ones they usually face. Where they used to need 2,000 or 4,000 votes, all of a sudden they've got to come up with 17,000 or 20,000 votes just to make it a draw. And Trump has already signaled that he and others are watching these races. This won't go like 2018, where Trump knew from the start the Democrats were winning the House. This time, Trump is determined to hold the Senate and flip the House back. How many of you are going to vote against him?